Internet! Welcome back to another episode of Penelope Draws Manga. Also, if my voice sounds a little funny, it's because I'm feeling a little under the weather. That's why I hadn't posted the video on Tuesday. I hadn't recorded it yet. On happier note, it's that time of month again, time for the monthly art check. And for March, this will be my third time drawing Kian the Leprechaun Warrior. Other than Cupid, who is an outlier that I didn't plan on making a part of this challenge when I initially drew him, I tried to make each monthly character, kind of fit into the archetype of, monthly character. St. Patrick's Day with the leprechaun and all that. But I didn't want him to just be, a regular old leprechaun, so I decided to make Kian, that's his name, a leprechaun warrior. He has this big battle axe that he uses to defend his pot of gold from anybody who might try to take it. As I looked back on my two previous years' drawings of him, I realized he never had a "Hi, I'm greeting the viewer" kind of picture, so that's what I decided to go for this year. Last year's picture was a much more illustrative version, more like he's in a scene unaware that he's being viewed. He's just admiring his gold and thinking, "Oh, my gold, I'd do anything for you." Also, I didn't really specify in my previous drawings whether or not the chainmail under his shirt is chain links or scale mail, and after drawing Link with the scale mail last video, I was really enjoying the way that it looked, so I decided to make it scale mail officially. However, I have changed his design in the past. His first design had this really weird, big, bulky belt thing that I don't really know what it is, which I changed last year. So, who knows, his design might change again in the future. Surprisingly, Kian's raised hand didn't really give me all that much trouble. The one that gave me trouble was the one that's resting on the handle of his axe. It took me several reference photos to get it right, and even now I'm not really sure how much I like it. It kept overlapping with the strap that goes across his chest in a really non-visually pleasing way. I mean, I think it ended up looking kind of okay, but then again, I thought that my art check Cupid picture last month turned out okay, and now I hate it, so make of that what you will. I'm not sure I mentioned this in my Cupid video, but I tried to use the same color palette that I used for the original version, so it's always fun going through my Procreate palettes and finding the color palette for the character, if it's Kian or Lavender. You'll see Lavender next month. And it's always just kind of a hello from last year, "Oh, hey friend, you're my old character." I don't know if that makes sense. That might just sound ridiculous. Sometimes though, my old palettes don't work out the way that I thought they would. So I ended up having to change some of the colors, the black for the chainmail ended up being too dark, and it was really just pulling my eye away from it. Same with the yellow, the gold belt. It just didn't feel nearly yellow enough to be made out of gold. So I took a picture of the entire picture, put it in grayscale just to check and see what areas were working and which areas needed help with the color. Next, I'm shading the hair, and I don't know why. I have so many characters with curly hair, but I hate drawing curly hair. This time I tried out a kind of new technique, I guess, where I made a bunch of little dots of light and shadow and then kind of faded them out. The light spots I faded out on the side that would be in shadow, and then the shadow spots I faded out on the side where there's more light. I don't know how successful it was. My mom said it looked good, so I guess there's that. I went with a much harder shading technique than I have in my previous videos. Just kind of cell shading. It made things a lot easier and made things look more bright and fun. Kind of the inspiration for this was I want to make something that looks like it'd be a fun sticker. Because of the way that the entire character is not fully drawn or cut off at a good point and it takes up the entire canvas, I don't think it actually would be a good sticker, but that was the kind of cutesy chibi type style I was going for. I don't know if it came across. I think it looks pretty okay. Kind of the same thing that I did with the hair, I ended up doing with the chainmail. I put bright highlights and then erased them out in areas that would be much more in shadow. In only a few areas did I opt for a softer edged shading, on the belt. I blurred it out a little bit. And on his cloverleaf pendant, I used some soft shading. And then, of course, again in the eyes, because that's just how I like to make them. Oh yeah, and I also did soft shading on the teeth. My friends watched me edit the footage for this video and they thought that the blue teeth looked really funny. I also added a little rainbow next to his face just because I thought it'd be cute. And here he is finished. I really enjoyed working on this one. It didn't take me too long. Um, I think it's really cute, and it's a good introduction page that he never actually got 2 years ago. Oh yeah, here's this year's and last year's pictures side by side. The styles are kind of different, but I think there's an improvement, especially in drawing the hair. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it, and I hope that you have a fantastic day. Bye-bye!